Hey guys, Tim Arview, Christian conservative Republican candidate for United States Senate here. Just wanted to hop on real quick to talk about something that I feel like is important for you to know. Um, as a candidate for political office with no previous political background, I've never held an office, anything like that, it can be perhaps a little scary for you to think about electing me because you don't know what I'm, what I'm bringing to the table, what I'm going to be like once I'm in office, and that is a fair question. And so I thought that a good way to share with you what kind of legislator that I will be is through showing you or talking about the reporting that we do as candidates with the FEC. So the FEC, in case you aren't aware, is the Federal Election Commission, and they are the part of the government that is responsible for presenting to the American public, to people, who their candidates are and what kind of people they are through showing these financial reports and things like that. So when you're running for office, a federal office, whether it's president, House of Representatives, Senate, anything like that, you have to report through the FEC. You have to file a statement of candidacy. You have to create a committee, all those sorts of things, so that all that information is available to the public on the FEC website. Anybody can view it. So you could go on the FEC right now, look me up, and you'll see the reports that I've made. And so I want to talk about that because I feel like this shows this is one way for you to see what kind of legislator that I will be. So one of the things that impact people probably the most when it comes to the government, when people talk about, when there's polls taken that says, what is important to you? What issue is important to you? Inevitably, within that list somewhere, if not at the top of the list, for many people it's at the top or near the top, is economics, the financial policies. And the reason for that is we're taxed. We pay lots of taxes. We pay income tax, we pay property tax, we pay tax after tax after tax. So we want to know, as American people, we want to know where that money is spent. And so that is a responsibility of our government, is to show us where that money is spent. Unfortunately, a lot of it gets hidden and it's routed through different programs and things like that, so that at the end of that whole loop, we don't really know maybe where that money is. That's a problem, obviously, but it is nonetheless a fact of our government, is that some legislators aren't too good at reporting those sorts of things. And so the same thing happens on the candidate level with the FEC reporting, and that's what I want to talk about. So the FEC requires us to file quarterly reports. So for instance, at the end of March, on April 1st, beginning on April 1st, we'll be able to file for the first quarter of 2022. Now, the FEC gives you 30 days to do that, so April 30th will be the last day to be able to do that. And I say 30 days, it's the month. At the end of the month, you have to do that. And so, for instance, the last filing that all of our candidates made was in January, and it was for the year end, which is really just another word for the last quarter of 2021. So if you go on the FEC website right now and look up my report, I'm not sure that it was exactly January 1st. It was either January 1st or January 2nd, though, that I filed my report for the end of year. Other candidates, not just in the Senate race either, I'm not just talking about my race, I'm talking about every one of them. I'm sure, there's a lot of representatives and a lot of senators. 536, counting the president and vice president, and, there's a lot of people. And that's not just candidates. There's a lot of people that file reports. So I haven't looked at all of the reports, obviously. But the ones that I have looked at, here's what they do. They don't file until the last day that they have to file. So they wait until the 30 days to file. Now, okay, so maybe they've got a lot of donations and a lot of disbursements, payments to things. Maybe they have a lot of those to deal with, and so that's the reason that they're not filing right away. Well, my argument to that is if you have that many donations and that many payments, you've probably got a team of people that are working with you on your campaign. A small campaign like ours, we don't have that many people, and so the responsibility for a lot of that falls on me or my wife, or someone else, but not a large team. We don't have a large team. That's not the kind of campaign we're running. So it's it's on us to do it. And yet I'm getting it filed on the first day. Now, something else that I want to bring up about that is the FEC does have sort of a loophole here. If you don't have within an election cycle, you have less, or not really election cycle, but the time that you're a candidate. Some people may go a different election cycle if they didn't get elected. They go on to the next election cycle and keep the committee going. So once the committee reaches a threshold of $5,000 in donations, then they have to report, legally have to report. Before that, you don't really have to report legally. However, I feel like that is a good indicator of what kind of legislator this person is going to be. Do they push the boundaries as much as they possibly can? Do they say, well, I haven't hit 4,000 or 5,000, so I don't have to report? Or they say, I have 30 days or a month to report this, so I'm going to wait the month to report it? Or do they say, no, you know what? I was at a meet and greet and someone gave me $20 for the campaign, and so I'm going to report that. I'm going to show that because the American people have a right to know that. And I'm going to report it on the first day that they're ready for these reports to be filed. I think of it like at school. You have these students, a teacher gives a project and says, you have so much time to complete the project. And maybe it doesn't take you that full time to complete that project. So you got two kinds of students in that case. The one that waits, even though the project is done, they wait to turn it in. And then the other one who says, the project is done, I'm turning it in. Why wait? It doesn't make any sense to wait. And the FEC is actually really good at helping candidates with this process. So they actually have an application, a program to put on your computer to be able to keep track of all of this. Similar to a spreadsheet sort of thing, but it's not. But it's the FEC's. It's FEC File is the name of the program. All the candidates use it unless they're mailing all these reports in, to the FEC or hand delivering them to the FEC. I doubt that anyone is doing that unless maybe they live in DC. But for somebody like me living in Illinois, that just doesn't make sense. I'm not going to do that. I'm doing it electronically because it's much more convenient and much easier. So what happens is when I get a donation, I just open the application on my computer and I put that donation in. When I spend money for the campaign, I open the application and I put that spending in there. It's very simple. And then at the end of the quarter, all I have to do is close the report. They even audit it to make sure that everything looks good. It's all balanced. We're showing, and it says you have this much money. So you just compare that with your campaign account and say, yep, the numbers match. We're good. And so you close the report and you submit it. Doesn't take any time at all to do that. It doesn't take 30 days to do that. It takes the full quarter to put those in, but then you don't need the 30 days. If you do that, you don't need the 30 days to finish the report. So that's the bottom line here. I'm not saying this to brag on myself or, it's not virtue signaling saying what a great person I am that I do this. What I'm saying is this is an indicator of what kind of legislator I will be. When money comes in, I will tell you. When money goes out, I will tell you. when there's something that you need to know, I will tell you. Obviously, there are things when you're talking about the federal government, even the state government and cities, even, there's going to be some things that are vital, for instance, in the federal government for national security purposes, that it wouldn't be a good idea to put that on the internet because other people have access to it and other governments have access to it, and you wouldn't want that getting out. Campaign finances are not one of those things. There's no problem with national security on campaign finances on reporting them. And actually, that could be a reason why they're not reporting them in some cases. They want to funnel it through. Who knows? I don't know. I don't work on their campaigns, so I don't know what they're doing, and I don't pretend to. I know what I'm doing on this campaign, and I almost say like my campaign, but that's not the. It isn't my campaign. It's our campaign. And that's why you have a right to know this stuff, because it's your campaign too. I'm sorry if I'm holding my camera on my phone, the camera on my phone. I'm holding my phone, so if it's shaky, I really do apologize, but I couldn't really find a good place to stand it to hold still. So if you look on the FEC website, you will see that even though I didn't have to report, I have been reporting. I started running in May, so July would be the first report. July 1st, you will see a report from me, I believe, 1st or 2nd, early in July. It didn't take me till the end of July to report my first thing. And after that, just every quarter, I have reported this. In October, I reported. And in January, I reported. I didn't wait 30 days. And if you'll notice, my last report, the year-end report, which was submitted on January 1st or 2nd, I still didn't have $5,000 worth of donations at that point, even though I'm still reporting it. Because, like I said, I believe that you need to know that. So I've kind of beaten this horse to death, I think. I just wanted to make sure that you understand what kind of legislator I will be and what I expect from my representatives. I expect better. I expect them to tell me where that money's going. Even if I didn't donate to your campaign, to that campaign, I want to know where that money's being spent, because it's taxpayer money that's being donated to that campaign. And so I want to know. I want to know how it's being spent. I have a right to know that. So anyway, again, Tim Arview, Christian conservative Republican candidate for United States Senate. I know it's a mouthful to say, but I like to say it all because I want you to know Christian first, conservative second, Republican third, and I am a candidate for United States Senate in Illinois. Go to my website, www.arviewforillinois.com. I got a calendar there. You can see all the places I'm going to be if you want to come meet me. I got a lot more coming up, obviously. We're coming to the end of petition season, thankfully. Oh my gosh, this has been so rough. But it's been fun. I've loved meeting everyone, and it's just going to continue. I know it is. But we're it's like we're ending the first leg of this race by getting the petitions done, and we'll take a little break after that, and then just be right back out on the road again campaigning for the primary. So anyway, good to see you. I hope to see you soon. Tim Arview, Christian conservative Republican candidate for United States Senate. God bless you. Have a good day.